Okay. I'm going to bed.
Me too. I f***ing hate rejection. I wouldn't have.
Let me walk you through what you just heard. A 40-year-old woman at 2 in the morning telling her male coworker that she only cheated with his friend Gary because he, the man she's currently talking to, was not flirty enough, fast enough. She calls it rejection. It is not rejection. It is her, 8 episodes ago, jumping off a boat to make out with someone else. But okay, we are back on Parsifal Free. Welcome to my Super Sideways 16, the episode named after a child's birthday, featuring an adult who cannot emotionally distinguish herself from one.
Cool. But that's me super loose.
Whatever this is with Dani is starting to feel like work and not fun.
Like the loose.
That is Keith, the nice deckhand, the one Dani scorned, finally in a confessional booth, stating the problem out loud. It's becoming something weird. Keith, it was weird. It was weird when she floated at dinner. It was weird when she kissed your roommate, who is also your first mate, who is also your boss. The delay with which the men of this yacht catch on to what is happening in front of their faces is what makes this franchise legally television.
I spent my 16th birthday as a guest chef for a culinary festival in Mexico. I cooked for 450 people that day. So then they brought me up on stage and had me do a model walk down the runway. And
Meanwhile, Gary, who, reminder, kissed Dani, is on camera recounting his own 16th birthday, in which he says he was a guest chef at a culinary festival in Mexico, cooked for 450 people, and then took a photo with 30 supermodels in bikinis. Sir, you were a first mate on a sailing yacht in your 40s. Nobody asked. The yacht didn't ask. The 16-year-old charter guest definitely didn't ask. And yet here we are, hearing about it as a confessional flexed on Bravo in the year of our Lord 2024.
They would like celebrate Alana's sweet 16 birthday party with a formal white glove service dinner.
wow.
That's the charter brief. An Irish family has chartered a 40-meter sailing yacht to celebrate their daughter Alana's 16th. They ask a formal white glove service dinner. These are parents who are, I promise you, aware that their child is 16, and they have elected to mark the occasion with white gloves on a super yacht in the Adriatic. I want to be very clear here. We are witnessing on camera the precise moment a generational wealth transfer decides to become a personality. That said, measured, dropping the joke for the thesis. And here's the thing about Super Sideways 16. The title of this episode is not about the birthday. It's about a request the guests made to feel the boat going sideways. They wanted the yacht to heel, to tip, so they could feel the full effect of sailing. On a luxury charter, which they paid for, the paying guests wanted the boat to lean over on purpose. And while that's happening inside the boat, an entire service crew is going sideways in their relationships. The boat tipping is metaphorically the calmer half of the episode.
Full room there, Cap. Cool.
I want to sail. I want to go tipped. I want to sideways. I want to feel the full effect.
Yeah, we can let
So
Say what you want about Alana's dad. That man understood the assignment. He booked a luxury service dinner and he wanted the yacht to lean on its side while it happened. That is a more coherent thesis for a charter than anyone on the crew has for their own life.
I don't think of myself as being one of those ego-driven chefs, but Daisy and Glenn's constructive criticisms kind of ruining my whole day.
Then we have Chef Cloyce. The recap gave him exactly one note last week, step up the cooking, and his response, on camera, is to say that constructive criticism from his bosses is, quote, kind of ruining my whole day. Cloyce, baby, you are being paid to cook. That is the entire job. The criticism is not the problem. The problem is the thing that prompted the criticism, which is that you were not cooking. Cloyce will, by the end of this episode, bake a cake from scratch, proving he can, which means the problem was never skill. The problem was that he was sulking.
I thought they could see this house. I didn't realize that.
And just if I ask you to do things, you're like, no, I can't do it. And then you go for a coffee, then it's a cigarette, then it's another coffee, then...
And Gary, who I need to reiterate is also in a workplace inappropriate situation, decides that the problem on this boat is Emma. Not the Dani thing, not the chef thing, Emma, who takes a coffee break, a tea break, and checks her phone. Gary lists those things as a crime, as if he did not just yesterday make out with a coworker in open water. The emotional bookkeeping on this yacht is, to use a sailing term, healing. But if this book comes from... What's sad about episode 7 is not that it's chaotic. Chaos is what we ordered. What's sad is that Dani's line, "I wouldn't have kissed Gary if it didn't take you this long," is a line that only lands if you still believe the other person is the one who caused your choices. She is 20 years older than Alana. Alana is at the table putting on white gloves and eating a purple broth dish she does not understand, and she is in that moment operating at a higher emotional age than the chief stew. My super sideways 16 is what you get when the adults on the boat have less self-knowledge than the 16-year-old paying for the cake. Another boat's anchor fails at midnight and nearly collides with Parsifal 3, and somehow, that's the second most destabilizing thing that happened today. The real collision is emotional. And unlike the maritime one, nobody on this crew is running for the fenders. If you made it this far, you either love me or you're looking for something to yell about in the comments. Either way, like, subscribe, and tell your sister.